Hey hotshots, Jess with Emotional Fire Academy here today to talk about 3 ways to feel whole as a highly sensitive person. Welcome to my channel. This is Emotional Fire Academy. Subscribe if you're a highly sensitive person ready to up-level your life. That's what we do here. Welcome. I'm Jess. I'm a master NLP practitioner and former firefighter. So today we're going to talk about how to feel whole, how to actually feel in your body. A wholeness, a completeness, an intactness that you've never felt before. Until I did these 3 things consistently, that's when I started. It's just the sensation, the body physiology sensation of feeling whole was there. It was there. I didn't have to do anything else. And I just want to caveat with this. These seem like very big steps, but I'm going to kind of give you some tricks so that they seem a lot more digestible. Because it's just about habit change. If you haven't already watched last week's video, I would highly recommend it on Forget Everything You Know About Being HSP and Make Your Own Rules. I'll put the link above. This is kind of part 2 of that, and how to really take back your existence, how to recreate yourself, not in a traditional HSP way, unless that's what you want to do, but in your own way. How to customize being a highly sensitive person. So the secret trick to wholeness is about power. Power is hidden in that. Because when there is a power imbalance, we don't feel whole. Right? When something else we feel or perceive is taking our power, is sapping our power, is making us less than because it is more powerful than us. It has more influence. It has more traction. That's when we have an actual body sensation of not feeling whole, because our attention is going to that thing. We're looking up at it and saying, that is more important than me. That is more certain. It knows better than me. That's how it is. And I have to accept this, and I don't want to. And that power imbalance, I invite you to kind of sit with this and feel that out for truth for yourself. Not feeling whole is about power imbalances. So how do we go about fixing power imbalances? This is how we do it so that we then are left with our own wholeness. You know, when we feel that we show up in the world as equals to everything else that we see, as equally powerful, we will feel whole. We will inherently sense our own wholeness in that situation. So, what's the first thing? We want to become our own authority and turn inward. Now, this is about, it's very easy to be distracted by others, right? We were conditioned as highly sensitive people to be hyper vigilant of our relationships because other people knew better than us. They were telling us we weren't behaving the way that they wanted us to. And so we were like, oh God, I don't know how to act. I'm monitoring everyone and paying closest attention and watching their every tick so that I don't do the wrong thing. That's the essence of being a highly sensitive person. So when we start to undo that, we turn inward. We stop looking at the outside world for validation, to make us feel better, for support. I was guilty of doing all of these things, and the minute I stopped that, it was like, I am fully investing in me. I am the authority on me. I know best. I am me. I can support me. I can love me. I can take care of me. I can discern for myself what is best for me. I don't have to listen to other people's opinions. I don't have to survey everyone I know about this particular problem and how to fix it. I don't have to do any of those things. Because that distraction, it wastes a lot of time doing that. And B, it's very distracting. It distracts away from the true source of our power, which is us. And the more and more I do this, and I'm about 95% there, and the more and more I do this, and I do it through Descartes' infamous, I think, therefore I am, that philosophy. Why does this matter? Why does some philosopher that's long dead matter? I think, therefore I am. His logic behind that statement is that the only thing we can know for sure is our own existence. Our own existence through our thought forms. And the deeper I get into that philosophy, I start to draw, in my world, I'm realizing, I'm like, I live in a hologram and that is all I know. I don't know anything else's existence beyond my own. I can't prove whether other people exist. I cannot prove whether the world actually exists. Yeah, I can feel it with my senses, but does it have an existence beyond me? Just like if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? It's that same thing of like, beyond our own senses, what is existence? What is actually existing beyond my own, the things that I sense? If my senses weren't there, would those things still exist? And that is something I may never know. That's the mystery of life. But what I know, let's come back to, we're getting distracted by, does that stuff exist out there? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because what we know for sure, what I know for sure, is that I exist. I exist. I know that for sure. I exist because I think. And so becoming the authority of that domain, really digging into, this is the only thing I know for sure. So I am going to become the authority on that. I'm going to take control of that. I'm going to step into that power of knowing. I know I exist. And so I am going to turn inward and really cultivate something I know for sure. I'm going to cultivate that. Become the authority on that. Find my answers within that. I'm going to turn inward and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, because they might be a reflection. They most likely are. They're a reflection, they're a mirror, there's a million theories out there. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. I'm turning into me and becoming the authority on me. Period. That's it. If I have a question about something, I turn to myself and I feel it out for my truth. If I am upset about something, I turn into myself and I comfort myself and I soothe myself. If I am hungry for something, I feed myself. I find that knowledge. I seek for myself. That really turn inward. Everything you want, everything you're looking for, everything you're hunting for and hungry for and yearning for is within you. If that doesn't land with you, it's because you're giving too much attention and authority to everything outside of you. Somebody told that to me once a few years ago, and I was like, that made me so upset. I didn't believe it, but the truth is that it is there. If you turn inward and look and establish that inner authority, and that's what we do on this channel. I've given you so many tools to establish that inner authority. When we do that, wow, that's you really take back your wholeness. You're like, I am self-contained. It's a way to self-contain. Number 2, what do we want to do next to feel whole? Once we've really started practicing doing that, you just keep turning inward, keep coming back to yourself. You're upset, hold yourself. You're hungry, feed yourself. Come back to you. The second thing we want to do and really work on is mastering our emotions. Because that also creates power imbalances, right? When we have these sensations of emotionality and they're coming up and they're bubbling up and we lose ourselves. Again, it's an illusion. We lose ourselves in the illusion. Paying too much attention to the outside is an illusion. Losing ourselves in a feeling is an illusion. It's an illusion. We disappear. We just go into the program. We run the program and then we wake up and we're like, what the heck just happened? So mastering our emotions is the second thing we want to work on to really feel whole and reclaim our power. Because emotions, if left unchecked, will run all over us and we will lose ourselves in the programming of our emotions. I've given you tools to do this. Check out my playlist, Emotional Mastery for HSPs. I'll put the link above. it's easy when you understand the mechanism. So what is the trick to making this seemingly gigantic task very small? So when you understand the mechanism of emotion, it makes it easier to handle. Just like how firefighters, we learn the fire triangle, that oxygen, heat, and fuel come together in different proportions to ignite. They combust, ignite, and they cause fire. It's the same thing with your emotions. If you've been following my channel, you know that physiology, conditioning, and language are the three things that come together to make emotion. And so when you understand, when you've seen behind the curtain and you know how it works, you can then approach any emotion and handle it. So I've literally given you the same tool. That is the essence of firefighting. That's how firefighters can show up at any fire and deal with it, because they can tinker with those sides of the triangle and to extinguish the flame. You are the same thing. You're an emotional firefighter. I've given you the tool, the emotional fire triangle, to tinker with your own emotions, to start being in control and to learn how to extinguish them really, really fast. So do that. Commit to mastering your emotions, because then you can show up a badass, an emotional badass, a hot shot. You can show up like that because you know how it works. You know what's going on, and you can just, stick a screwdriver literally in one side of the triangle and poof, it's done. The emotion ends. So this is how we master our emotions, is understanding the mechanism behind how emotions come up, how they're made, how they arise, what they are. And the third thing we can do is, once we've really practiced doing these two things, we should definitely, and this is where I really was like, wow, I'm starting to feel really whole. The third thing we want to do is integrate that wholeness, that sensation of, everything is equal, the power is balanced, nothing outside of me is taking away from me, I am the authority on me, nothing inside of me is taking away from me, I am the authority of my inner and outer world. When we do that, when we've practiced those things, and these are just habits, this is just habit change, that's all this is. Habits can be changed in 30 days with consistent practice. So this isn't a huge thing. It doesn't have to take years. It doesn't have to. The third thing we do is then really want to integrate this wholeness into language. We want to drop any phrases like, I'm broken, I don't fit into the world, I don't have a place here, I hate being highly sensitive, I'm always going to be highly sensitive, I feel so horrible, all these sad narratives. Just let them go. Don't use them. Don't use them. We want to integrate the wholeness into language. We can either use affirmations like, I am whole. I feel whole. I am so whole. I'm whole. I'm intact. I'm me. I feel good. And then really practice feeling that. What does wholeness feel like in our body? Use drop the old language that prevented us from the wholeness. Integrate, I feel whole. I am whole. I'm good. I'm good. And when you know it, when you really, that last step, that last little bit will really cement it into you. You will know you are whole. It will become a fact that is not shakeable. It's just like, I'm whole. I'm always whole. I've always been whole. I just forgot, and I always will be whole. And there's nothing that can take away from me. When we do these things, we finally integrate it. That's that last nail in the coffin that cements this knowledge into your body, mind, and soul, and it really gels it, and then you don't have to practice it anymore. Then you've made these two things kind of a way of living. You've really committed to living that way. Your wholeness is inherent then. You feel totally whole. You're not using that demeaning language that ousts you from your feeling of wholeness. Because saying, I'm broken, you can't hold both, if you hold both stories, you're going to go with I'm broken because it feels worse. So the wholeness is there. It's beneath all of that language that we use. We just need to let it go. Stop using it. Just stop using it. So it's about language, monitoring your own language, having the self-control to monitor your own language. And that feeling then is just there naturally. You know, when we describe ourselves as whole, it's there. We're practicing, you know, we've leveled out the power, and then the feeling of wholeness is just there inherently. It's there. It is there, and then we realize it's always been there all along, like I said, and it's been there, and we felt it when we were meditating. We felt it. We were being mindful. It's been there. It's so there, and it's so persistent that we forget it's there. That we forgot in the illusion of other people's opinions and the ruse of our emotions that it wasn't there. We forgot, but it was there. It's there the whole time. And now that I've done all these things, I've taken this journey. You can take this journey too. I feel whole. I know I'm whole. Like there's no doubt about it. There's no question in my mind. Yeah. So, what did you think? Leave a comment below if you are someone who is ready to reach a level of wholeness and really have additional support and guidance in this process of doing these 3 things. Reach out to me. I'm offering one-on-one coaching right now. I have a 3-month program called Flammable to Fireproof where we do just that. So thanks for watching. Check that out at emotionalfireacademy.com and have a great day. Bye.